Technologies make our lives easier, but they can also make our lives unbearable if they don't work right. That's what happened to our user Daniel, who purchased an Evolution CTS2 digital unit from Edge Products. Instead of convenience, he experienced a true machine uprising. But first things first. Daniel, please tell us what happened.
In 2019, I bought a brand new F-150 pickup, and I was told about. Though I love the truck, I was a little bit disappointed in the fuel economy. So I was told about a device known as a programmer that you could put on your truck to get better fuel economy to program the engine. So I bought the device from Edge, and I put the device on my truck. Went through the whole setup procedure. Putting the device on my truck, I had nothing but problems, numerous problems. First of all, the screen. When you power you have to program the unit to your truck, put in the year, make, model, engine, all that kind of stuff. And I had a problem with it from the beginning, where the screen, when you start the truck up, it's supposed to come up, power up, and you can select all kinds of different options as far as what you want to see on the screen, programmable options like engine temperatures and things of that nature. From the beginning, I had problems with the screen where it wouldn't come on when you start the truck. Sometimes it would take 20, 30 seconds. Sometimes it would take, 5 minutes. All of a sudden, it would power up. I contacted Edge, and that was the phone. Well, first, back up. I bought it online from an online truck company, truck sales company, and I contacted them, and they told me anything I had to do with the unit, I had to call Edge, the manufacturer. So when I did that, I told them what the issue I was having. The first thing they had me do was take the unit out of the truck, hook it up to my computer, and update the software. So I did that, update the software, put it back in the truck, and it didn't fix the issue. So I contacted them again, and they told me it could be a problem with the wire that connects the Edge device to the truck, the cable. So they sent me a new cable. I installed the cable. That didn't help out at all either. That was just one problem. Another issue I had with the device was you have several different options you can use it. You can use it for fuel economy, which is what I wanted it for. You can use it for performance, to increase the performance of the engine on the truck. You can use it for trailer towing, which also increases the performance of that truck. I think that's all of it. And then the factory setting. So I had originally set it up for fuel economy, and it really didn't do any good. It didn't help at all with the fuel economy. And what I had noticed was, my first trip I took with the truck. The truck has a 36-gallon fuel tank, and I can go over 500 miles on a tank of gas. And this vehicle, I don't take it out very often. It's not an everyday driver. I basically, when the weather's nice, I take it out. So I don't drive it. I don't put a lot of miles on it. And the first trip I took on the truck was about a 12-hour trip. Halfway through the trip, I had a check engine light come on. And with the Edge product, because it's an engine computer reading device, I accessed the Edge option that tells you what's wrong with the truck. It had said that there was a air intake leak or something to that effect, which I thought was really weird for a brand new truck. Well, when I got to, basically I was going up to see my family. When I got up there, I reset the device back to factory settings, and I got rid of the check engine light. It went away, and everything turned back to normal. So there really wasn't a problem. It somehow, I don't know how, but it said there was a problem. There really wasn't a problem with it. And I also noticed when I had it in the fuel economy mode, fuel savings mode, that at idle, when I was coasting, let's say to a stoplight or a stop sign, slow down or stop, the engine would start shaking, running kind of rough. I had contacted Edge again and told them the issue I was having. The first thing they did was they said, I want you to fill up your truck, drive a full tank of gas in each of the modes, in the fuel savings mode, in the trailer towing mode, the high performance mode, and see what happens. So I did all that, and I reported back to them, back to Edge, what was going on. Every time I would call them, I called them probably about a dozen times. Every time I called them, they would have a new thing that they wanted me to try, something new. And like I said, it took me several months to do this because I could go roughly up 500 miles in a tank of gas. They asked me to, go through a whole tank of gas at each one of these modes. During the trailer towing mode option drive, whatever you want to call it, I was only about 20 minutes from my house, and I was getting on a 2-lane highway. I stepped on the gas to accelerate, not maybe I half accelerated, not really hard. All of a sudden, I heard some like shuddering from the engine, shaking and shuddering. It sounded like I blew up the engine, and the turbochargers on the engine went out, They quit working, and the engine still was running, but the turbos basically were taken offline. So I got back home, kind of glimpsed it back home, and I once again I set it back to the original factory setting. It cleared up. Fortunately, it cleared up all the problems with the engine. Everything went fine. It was normal, and I called again. I called back to Edge, to the company, and talked to them and told them what's going on. And I basically asked them for I said, can you just swap out, give me a new unit? As apparently this thing is defective. It's not working right. It doesn't power up. Sometimes while you're driving, it just shuts off on its own. It's not doing anything as far as saving fuel. It gave me a check engine light one time. Another time, I thought it ruined my engine by over boosting. I think what happened, it over boosted, and the computer shut the turbochargers off. And again, they refused to. They said, "Well, let's try." They gave me more tests to try. This took for me to do everything they asked. It took me better part of a year. So when I finally got through all their testing options that they wanted me to do, they still said, "Well, we want to try this to make sure it's the unit and not the truck." So they sent me a handheld. The one that I had was it's a screen that you could put on your dash or on your window, which monitors. It shows all whatever you select. It shows it all the time. So they said, "Well, we're going to send you a handheld device. We want you to try that device basically the same way. Go through every mode, every engine mode, and tell us what happens." So I did the same thing. I went through the fuel economy mode. I went through the trailer towing mode. I went through the high performance mode, and I didn't have any problems at all. Everything, the truck worked normal. Everything was fine. Again, it really didn't save me any fuel. Maybe 1 to 2 miles a gallon better was all I was seeing. And the other caveat of it, when you use that device, no matter what mode it is, you have to use premium gasoline. So it's costing more in fuel to use device, and you're really only saving about 2 miles per gallon. So it's really not paying for itself. So I did a handheld device. I went through every program. The truck was fine. There was no issues. There was no check engine lights. Everything was normal. So I called them back, and I think it was about this time when I finally got all those tests done, completed. The warranty had just expired. So I called the company back, and well, let me back up. Before I got to that point, I talked to them, and at least 2 occasions, and maybe 3 occasions, I said to them, "I get the feeling you're stalling. You don't want to replace this device or give me a new device." And when the warranty runs out, they're going to say, "Oh, it's too late. Your warranty runs out." Oh no! And they said, "They promised me." "Oh, no problem. We'll work with you. We want to make sure you're happy, you're satisfied. We'll work with you to get the problem resolved." And at least twice, they promised me they would do that. Well, by the time I got done with all the tests and stuff on the handheld device, I reported back to them. I said, "Listen, this thing works fine with this device, so it's got to be the original unit." Then they gave me the excuse, "Well, they don't have that unit anymore, the one that I bought, so they couldn't replace it." I said, "Well, give me something comparable," because the unit was almost $600. I said, "Give me something comparable, a model that was similar in style and stuff." Well, then all of a sudden they told me, "Well, I'm sorry, your warranty is up. You're out of warranty. There's nothing we can do." And I'd asked for supervisors, managers on several occasions, told them the same thing. And they basically said, "There's nothing we can do. Your warranty is expired." I said, "You promised me that you were going to work, fix it for me. You were going to, you're going to give either replace it or give me something a new one or whatever. And they said, well, your warranty's expired. There's nothing else we can do. We can't help you. So I was really frustrated at that point. I really didn't do much after that for a little while because like I don't know what else I can do. And then I did file a report with the Better Business Bureau. And I told them what happened. And basically, and the sad part of it is when their response to that were all outright lies, saying I hung up on them. I didn't do what they told me to do, so on and so forth. Which I did everything they did, every step that they asked me to do, I did. I told them on the phone, listen, I don't drive this truck very often. I can go almost 600 miles on a tank of gas. This is going to take me a while to go through all these programs and report back to you. Oh, that's okay. We understand. And then when I wrote the Better Business Bureau, their response to my complaint was a bunch of lies. He didn't do what we say. I was being rude to them, so on and so forth, which I never was. I just wanted, I either wanted to do a unit or give my money back. I was fine either way. It's frustrating. I don't know what else, and I found you guys online. I don't know what else I could do. It's really frustrating. It's like, there's absolutely no other options I have other than to file a complaint with you guys. And like I said, I did with the Better Business Bureau, but they never helped me one bit. I don't know why, why they couldn't give me a new one or, it's a lot of money. I understand that they probably didn't want to give my money back, but why they couldn't send me a new unit or whatever. So I still do have the handheld device, but I set my truck back to the original factory settings because it really didn't do any good. Spending that kind of money, and it didn't help the gas mileage at all, which is the whole reason why I bought the device.
Do you want to involve a third party into the conflict?
I thought about it. The amount of money that I spent was a lot of money for a product that didn't work, but the amount of time and money, to take the hire lawyer to sue them probably wouldn't be worth it. I thought maybe I could go the route of advising. I've done that before when I've had a product and somebody wouldn't resolve my problem, and I called I wrote the Better Business Bureau or something similar, and they'd call me back and say, we don't want a bad review. What do you need? What do you want us to do? And I said, I want you to do what you originally told me. And they always have. This is the first time that I had that where number one, they refused to fix it. Number two, when I did file the complaint with the Better Business Bureau, they just turned around and completely lied, and their whole response to me was a lie. So I thought maybe I would try to find avenues that I could warn their customers about them. You would think that if they see that kind of information online, how not necessarily shoddy their products are. This one was, but how they don't stand behind it, and they outright lie to you. That maybe they'd finally come to me and say, hey, we messed up. We're sorry. It will refund you your money, and we'll send you a device. That's the only recourse that I right now I was thinking that I was just doing or thinking of that might work to try and get the issue resolved.
What would you recommend to future customers of Edge products?
Highly recommend that anybody that is considering buying something from them to go somewhere else. Like I said, I don't know. I kind of think my device just happened to be faulty. There's something wrong with it internally with electronics, which I understand that things like that happen. But when the company refuses to replace or refund you the issue, with you're working with them, and then they turn around and deliberately lie about what you've done and what you said. I would recommend anybody stay away from that company because they can't be trusted.
Well, we can only hope that Edge Products will hear Daniel and resolve this issue. You can help us bring more exposure to this video and draw the company's attention to the issue. All you need to do is hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and write in the comments if you ever used the Edge Products devices. That's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.